Some football players don't need to win the most trophies or play for the biggest teams to be remembered. They make their mark just by being themselves, playing the game in a way that is different and special. These players make football more than just a sport. They turn it into something beautiful, something that inspires young kids who dream of being great one day. Today, we're going to talk about one such player who influenced many stars like Ronaldinho, Neymar, Mario Gomez, and Robinho. His name? JJ Okocha. The early life of JJ Okocha. JJ Okocha was actually born Augustine Azuka Okocha. The name JJ was first given to his older brother, who was named James. But the nickname stuck with young Augustine, and soon everyone was calling him JJ. This led to the famous joke in football, JJ Okocha, so good they named him twice. Like many kids from Nigeria, JJ's first experience with football wasn't on a fancy field. Instead, he played in the streets with anything round that could be kicked. He once said in an interview with the BBC, "As far as I can remember, we used to play with anything, with any round thing we could find, and whenever we managed to get hold of a ball, that was a bonus." I mean, it was amazing. Not much is known about his time in Nigeria, but at some point, he joined a local team called Enugu Rangers. Almost immediately, he became a celebrity there. But the moment that would change his life forever came in a very unexpected way, from Nigeria to Germany. In 1990, after his first season with Enugu Rangers, JJ decided to travel to Germany to watch some Bundesliga matches. He also planned to visit a friend, Binebi Numa, who played for a German third division team called Borussia Neunkirchen. During one of the team's training sessions, JJ asked a simple question that would change his life. "Can I join?" The team said yes, and by the end of the training session, everyone was amazed by his skills. The coach invited him back the next day, and soon after, JJ was offered a contract. In his first year with Borussia Neunkirchen, JJ played 35 matches and scored 7 goals. It didn't take long for other teams to notice him. After just 1 year, he was on the move again, this time to a team called FC Saarbrücken in the second division. But before he even played a match for them, another team came knocking, Eintracht Frankfurt. They made sure FC Saarbrücken would still profit from the move and immediately brought JJ to their team. Imagine going from playing in Nigeria to joining a top Bundesliga team in just a little over a year. JJ must have been thrilled, and he had every reason to be. The goal that made history. After spending some time adjusting to his new club, JJ had his first major moment of fame. Eintracht Frankfurt was playing against Karlsruhe, and JJ found himself face-to-face with one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Oliver Kahn. The score was 2-1 in favor of Eintracht Frankfurt when JJ got the ball. Kahn was ready to stop him, but JJ had other plans. He faked one way, went the other, and left Kahn on the ground. Then, as if he was waiting for Kahn to get up, JJ calmly took his shot and scored. It was easily the goal of the year, and even years later, Kahn would joke that he was still dizzy from all the moves JJ made. This goal showed everyone that JJ Okocha was a player like no other. He stood out in the Bundesliga, a league known for its strong and tactical football. But JJ had something special, a kind of magic that made even the toughest teams bow down to him. Inspiring the next generation, JJ didn't just influence his teammates, he also inspired a whole generation of footballers. One of them was Mario Gomez, who would later become a famous German footballer. Gomez once said that this goal by JJ was what made him fall in love with football. Before that, Gomez didn't like watching football on TV. He thought it was boring. But one day, his father sat him down and showed him JJ's amazing goal. From that moment on, Gomez watched football highlights with his dad every Sunday, rising to fame with Nigeria. In 1993, JJ became even more well-known after scoring a crucial free kick in Nigeria's World Cup qualification match against Algeria. This goal helped Nigeria secure their place in the World Cup the following year. Before the World Cup, there was the African Cup of Nations. Although JJ didn't play a full match or score any goals, he still made a big impact. He helped Nigeria win the tournament, and he was one of 4 Nigerian players named to the team of the tournament. The 1994 World Cup. With the success in the African Cup of Nations, there was a lot of hope for Nigeria in the 1994 World Cup. JJ didn't start in the first few matches, but he did come on as a substitute in Nigeria's match against Argentina, which was also the last international match for the legendary Diego Maradona. JJ's first full match came against Italy, where he faced another football legend, Roberto Baggio. Nigeria was leading 1-0 with just 2 minutes to go when Baggio scored to send the game into extra time. Baggio scored again, ending Nigeria's World Cup dreams. Even though Nigeria didn't win, JJ had made his mark by playing against two of the greatest players of the 1990s, a tough time at Eintracht Frankfurt. After the World Cup, JJ Okocha's time at Eintracht Frankfurt became challenging. The team struggled in the Bundesliga, and by 1996, they had dropped to 17th place, flirting with relegation. Besides his talent, the situation at the club was far from ideal, and it became evident that JJ needed a fresh start to reignite his career and find a team where his skills could shine again. The uncertainty at Frankfurt made it clear that a change was necessary for JJ to continue growing as a footballer. The 1996 Olympic Games. The next big challenge for JJ was the 1996 Olympic Games. Nigeria had a strong team, and they were determined to make their mark. The group stage was easy for them, and they qualified for the next round after just 2 games. But the final group match against Brazil was special, because Nigeria made sure to give Brazil a tough time. In the quarterfinals, Nigeria faced Mexico, a team that had beaten them in the Confederations Cup the previous year. But this time, Nigeria was ready. JJ scored an incredible goal early in the match, and Nigeria won, moving on to the semifinals where they would face Brazil again, the only team that had beaten them so far. The amazing semifinal against Brazil. The semifinal match against Brazil didn't start well for Nigeria. By halftime, Brazil was leading 3-1, and it looked like they had figured out how to beat Nigeria. But Nigeria wasn't ready to give up. Early in the second half, they were awarded a penalty, but JJ missed it. It seemed like luck was not on their side, but with just over 10 minutes to go, Nigeria scored a goal to make it 3-2. Then, in injury time, JJ took a throw-in that led to a huge mess in the box, and the ball ended up in the net, thanks to a touch by Kanu. The match was going into extra time. Now, here's a fun fact. Back then, extra time was played with a golden goal rule, meaning the first team to score would win the match. Just 4 minutes into extra time, a long ball was played through, bounced off a forward's back, and Kanu was in position. He took a swift shot, celebrated with an iconic move, and Nigeria was through to the Olympic final. It was a match that no one would forget.
Doing well there. Job well done, man. Nice job. Okocha. Got by Eduardo Costa, the man who just came in. Now the shot. Okocha. He's done it again. What a...
The Olympic final. In the final, Nigeria faced Argentina. It was a tough match, but Nigeria was determined. The game was intense, and both teams played their hearts out. In the end, Nigeria won the gold medal, and JJ Okocha became a national hero. This victory was a big moment for Nigeria and for African football as a whole. In his last year, Okocha helped his team get past tough opponents in the UEFA Cup, like Sevilla and Zenit. They almost made it through Marseille in the knockout stage, but an unlucky goal stopped them. At 32 years old, Okocha felt he had done everything he could for his team and decided it was time to leave. Even though his team had some great moments, like beating Atletico de Madrid, things started to go downhill, and Okocha was sad to see it. He moved to Qatar for a year, but then surprised everyone by joining Hull City, a team playing in a lower division. When asked why, he said he felt it was what he was meant to do. Unfortunately, Okocha got hurt and only played 19 games, but he still helped Hull City achieve a big win, getting promoted to a higher league for the first time in 104 years. After a lot of thought, Okocha decided to retire from football. He ended his career in a way only he could, leaving behind a legacy of amazing moments and unforgettable plays. JJ Okocha's football journey is one of passion, skill, and inspiration. He didn't need a room full of trophies or to play for the biggest teams to be remembered. Instead, he became a legend by playing the game in his unique way, leaving a lasting impression on football fans and players around the world. His story shows that sometimes it's not about the awards or the fame, but about how you play the game and the joy you bring to others through it. JJ Okocha, a player so good, they named him twice. His legacy will live on in the hearts of football lovers for generations to come. If you like this video even a little, please like it, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can motivate me to keep making videos like this.